In a land far away, there used to be a boy king. He became forgotten, and now he's probably one of the most famous people in the world. Good morning, judges, students, teachers, and guests. This person's name was Tutankhamun, but more commonly known as King Tut. Now, King Tut was only around 9 when he got the throne. He later on had to rebuild the entire empire and befriend their allies, because his father, who ruled before him, ruined everything about Egypt. His father moved the capital, banned God, and also ignored his allies. King Tut was lucky though. He had great advisors, which must have helped him a lot. Take a second and think, could you at 9 take on the throne and rule over a country, decide if you should go to war, or if you should move the capital back and reinstate the god Amun? He did do those things. He moved the capital back from Achaean to Thebes. He also brought back the god Amun to top god and changed his name to fit the change of gods, from Tutankhamun to Tutankhamun. His family consisted of his wife, who was actually his half-sister, his mother, who was one of his father's 5 sisters. He had 2 children, but they both sadly died when they were only babies. They were both buried with him, and that was the end of his family line. His cause of death has so many different theories, or there were, until science finally figured out how he died. And no, it wasn't the popular murder theory as some used to say, but just came from disease because his family had children with their sisters, caused all sorts of problems. I won't bore you with a long list of diseases. Just know this, that wasn't just one disease, but multiple. He was buried like all other pharaohs, in a tomb, although they think he was buried in his advisor's tomb, from the small size of it and the extra large wall paintings cover the walls. This tomb lay hidden for thousands of years, from the time of his death to 1922. It's believed that his tomb was only robbed once or twice, but all they took were small items and oil. It is believed that this was close to when it was made because of the repairs and hastily repacking. This tomb was discovered by Howard Carter in 1922. It was discovered under the remains of a worker's hut. When he found it, he told them to rebury it as it was, and then went and called George Herbert, who paid for the day, to come have a look. A week later, they unveiled the tomb again and broke through the plaster to find the tomb. They later cataloged the hundreds of items that were buried with it. The items in this tomb are what make it so extraordinary. There are chests, boats, another gate, tents, food, gold, and items that the pharaohs would have used in everyday life. The most amazing artifacts, in my mind, are the solid gold coffin and his death mask made of gold, which still inspires people today. If you think of Egypt, you probably see the death mask. I myself have seen this death mask in person in Toronto at a King Tut exhibit. Some of the treasures that they made way back then that I saw there just blew my mind. I hope that you have learned at least a little bit about the great King Tut.